You know that feeling? You walk into a room and you just know something's off? Nothing's obvious, nobody's yelling, but you're already picking up on everything. The way someone's smiling a little too hard, the tension in a glance, the unspoken stuff just hanging in the air. It feels like you're noticing what everyone else is missing. But here's the thing, it's not really a superpower. In fact, it can be a psychological trap.
And that quote just nails it, doesn't it? This intense awareness doesn't have an off switch. It follows you everywhere, replaying conversations in your head, dissecting every little silence, and turning tiny moments into these huge, complicated dramas in your mind. It's like you're running a mental marathon 24/7, and it is absolutely exhausting. So, let's get into it. What's really going on here? In this explainer, we're going to decode the psychology behind this whole thing. We'll look at where it even comes from, what it looks like in day-to-day life, and, this is the important part, how you can find a way to manage it without feeling like you're being swallowed whole by your own thoughts.
To really get a handle on this, we have to go back to the beginning. Now, psychology basically points to two main paths that lead a person to become this aware. And they're pretty different from each other, but they can end up looking and feeling very similar on the outside.
So here are the two big origins. On one side, you've got inborn sensitivity. These are people who are just, well, wired this way from birth. On the other side, you have learned vigilance, which is more of a survival skill that gets picked up along the way and then just never gets turned off. Let's break them both down.
All right, first up is a biological trait called sensory processing sensitivity. If this is you, it means your nervous system is basically built with an ultra-fine filter. From the moment you were born, the world just appears in stunningly high resolution. Every sight, every sound, every little feeling gets processed way more deeply and intensely than it does from most people.
Okay, the second path isn't something you're born with. It's something you learn. It's a state we call hypervigilance. I want you to picture a kid growing up in a house where the emotional weather is totally unpredictable. That kid can't just be a kid. They have to become a human radar station. They learn to read the room constantly, to decode the sound of footsteps on the stairs or the way a door closes to predict if a storm's coming. Their brain's danger alarm is just always on, scanning for threats. It's a survival skill that gets baked right into their personality.
So, whether you were born this way or you learned it to survive, how does this whole over-awareness thing actually show up in everyday life? Let's walk through 5 of the most common signs.
This one. This is probably the most energy-draining one of all. For someone who's over-aware, a simple conversation is never just a conversation. It's data to be analyzed. You know your boss sends a quick message on Slack? Hey, can you pop by my office later? For most people, that's just a meeting. For you, it kicks off a full-blown investigation. You're dissecting the wording, the time it was sent, the fact there was no smiley face. Your mind is always working, which is why you can feel totally wiped out even on a day where you didn't do much at all.
And of course, that powerful analytical lens doesn't only point outward, it turns inward with a vengeance. You don't just have an emotion, no, you feel it, then you analyze why you're feeling it, and then you judge yourself for feeling it in the first place. It's like trying to dance while staring at your own reflection in a mirror the entire time, critiquing every single move. You might not mess up, but you completely miss out on the joy and the flow of the moment.
You know, when you're so tuned in to the little subtleties of how people behave, you start to see the backstage of it all. You see the agenda behind a compliment or the hesitation behind a yes. It's not that you're cynical, it's that you've lost what you might call relational innocence, that simple ability to just take things at face value without looking for the hidden meaning.
For the over-aware person, empathy isn't really a choice. It's more like a default setting that's permanently on. You walk into a room and you don't just notice that two people are tense, you feel it. It's like you're an emotional sponge, just soaking it all up. You don't just understand what someone is going through, you absorb their feelings and carry them around like they're your own. This can make you an incredible friend, for sure, but man, it comes at a huge personal cost. It's a fast track to burnout.
And this super-awareness isn't just a mental thing, it's deeply physical. There's a scientific term for this called interoception, which is basically your ability to sense what's going on inside your own body. And people who are over-aware often have this system on high alert. So a totally normal physical sensation can feel like a blaring 5-alarm fire.
And this is where it can get really brutal, because it creates this vicious cycle. Let's say you have a cup of coffee and your heart beats a little faster. Totally normal, right? But your highly aware brain flags it as danger. Oh no, is this a panic attack?
That thought triggers a real stress response. Your body releases cortisol, which makes your heart beat even faster, which then confirms your brain's original fear. And just like that, you're trapped in this awful feedback loop, all fueled by your own awareness.
So, what do you do about all this? You can't just decide to be less aware. That's not how it works. The solution isn't about turning down the volume in your head. It's about changing your relationship with what you notice. It's about learning to let go of the emotional weight of everything you see and feel. It's about boundaries.
So this all starts with adopting a new mindset. And here are 3 principles that can be incredibly freeing. Number 1, not every silence is a secret message. Sometimes a slow text reply just means the other person is tired. That's it. 2, not every emotion needs to be solved. You can just feel anxious, observe it, and let it pass without trying to fix it. And 3, not every insight you have needs to be shared. You can see someone's insecurity clear as day and choose not to jump in and fix it for them.
This really gets to the heart of the shift. The old way is using your awareness for prediction, trying to guess what's next to stay ahead of any potential pain. It's all driven by fear. The new way is about using that same awareness for presence, to just be here, now, with curiosity. It's about noticing without absorbing and observing without judging.
And when you start to practice this, something really remarkable starts to happen. Your awareness doesn't go away, it just softens, it matures. You still see everything, but you're no longer getting swept away by every single emotion or problem that crosses your path.
I just love this metaphor. Your awareness starts to transform. It goes from being this sharp, intense laser beam that exposes every tiny flaw in yourself and everyone else into a warm, gentle candle. It's still a light, right? You can still see clearly, but now it's a light that also provides warmth and gentleness and compassion.
And really, that's the ultimate goal here. The depth that you carry isn't some kind of flaw, it's a gift that's just waiting for you to understand it. So, the question I want to leave you with is this: how will you start using your incredible awareness, not as a tool